So today's guest on the Unplugged podcast is Dave Radley, former rugby player and now the founder of DMR Training. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, Whitney. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming on. So for the audience, Dave, tell us who Dave Radley is.
It's a tough one to start, isn't it? I guess starting from the most important, family man, husband, father to 5 kids, son, brother, and I have DMR Training and consultancy. I've had that for 13 years. My background is construction and sport, professional and amateur sport.
I know, so you was in rugby for 20 odd years. Tell us a bit about rugby.
20 odd years is, that's why I ache all the time now because of all the injuries. But I started playing when I was about 10 years old.
Wow.
Played amateur in Leigh, where I'm from, Leigh East, Leigh Miners, and then I got to 17 years old and I went into the professional game, signed a professional contract, and I played at Halifax.
What was that like from a young age, getting signed for rugby at 17?
Great, obviously. I mean, from a town like Leigh, it is a big rugby league town, so I guess all I wanted to do was go and be a rugby player. So from being I was the fat kid in school, and I had to.
Can you be fat if you play rugby?
Yeah, I mean, you can get away with it, I guess. But yeah, I was the fat kid, I guess, and I just set my mind to it that I want to be a professional rugby player. So, from being probably 11, 12 years old, I just decided to, like, the little things you remember, like a cut crisp and chocolate and all the rest of it.
Wow, from that young?
I went on a bit of a journey and, doing press-ups, sit-ups, all that kind of stuff. And I got myself to a point where I got in half-decent shape and started playing a bit better and feeling a bit better about myself, really. Because I did feel quite uncomfortable at the time, as you do in school when you're overweight and stuff. And then I ended up getting asked to go to St Helens Rugby Club I was about 13. And I remember going, because it's this funny story, I used to talk to my dad used to tell everybody about this where I went. And they say, like, strip down to your boxes or whatever, and then check all your body fat, your calipers and all that kind of stuff, and do all that. And he said, like, you look like an upside down pear. He said, so we're gonna change you around.
He said that.
The other way around. The conditioner at the time, a fella called Jack Penman, and who I became good friends with. And I used to go every night. My dad used to pick me up from school, straight from school at 4 o'clock at St Mary's in Astley, take me to St Helens.
Was your dad a rugby player?
Yeah, he played rugby, professional amateur as well, coached and such. I did about 12 months going to St Helens, and to be fair, they did change me around, so I was a opposite side pair, so I went that way.
We need some pictures of him.
Instead of that way. I'm sure that my mum's got them somewhere. So I did about 12 months at that, and obviously started playing better, and then I actually got offered a contract to sign there, and I was only talking about that over the weekend with my old coach, Simon Gregory.
Oh, so you're still in contact with them?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and because he came in with me at the time when I got offered this contract, and I guess when I look back now, it's like it set me on the path to kind of understanding what's important, because I went in and obviously all I wanted to do was be a rugby player, and I got offered, the contract was worth £56,000 at the time.
How old were you?
About 15 when I got offered this. And it was all incentive based, so what you got to appreciate is I didn't get anything up front. I mean, at the time, there was a lot of players that were getting money each birthday and stuff. That they don't do it anymore. There was a lot of players that was getting that. It was all incentive based. So if I played, say, 10 first team games, I'd get $5,000 or whatever.
Brilliant.
If I played 10 more games, if I played for Great Britain, there was this and that and the other. So at the time, we turned it down because it was a case of, see what's out there, don't jump to the first, jump at the first chance. And I carried on, training with them. And then I carried on in the amateur game, and then I ended up going to Wigan, training for about 12 months. I used to go once a week. Then it offered me a contract. So I was kind of in and about the game and kind of sniffing around professional clubs. And then I went to Leigh, I don't know, Leigh Leopards, it was Leigh Centurions at the time. I did like a season there playing in the academy. And then I got a couple of offers from Leigh, as I said, the St Helens one, and then I ended up signing a professional contract with Halifax. It was called Halifax Blue Sox at the time.
Halifax Blue Sox?
Yeah, it was like the American, the offset with the names at the time, which sounded quite cool. So yeah, I signed there on a 2-year contract, and I did okay. You know, I went straight in and kind of got into I went into the academy and the reserves.
What were it like transitioning from like being like in school to then going into something that's like basically a job role, and like from a young age did the dedication to that and everything like that? How did you take that on?
I think I've probably only realised how it set me up for life and the way I am probably over the last few years rather than at the time. I mean, obviously if you're in a professional environment like that, I mean, at 14 years old, if you're training with a Super League rugby club, and quite often I was training with the first team in the gym and stuff, and you know, you go in and the music's blasting and you're with people you've seen on telly every week. It's an elite environment, and it obviously, you pick up good habits.
Mindset change straight away. Mindset
changes, and you kind of, you know, I'm an ambitious person anyway, a driven person, and then to be in these environments. But then, as I say, I went to Halifax and I went into the reserves, I think before the academy really, and I kind of like went quite far quite quickly. And then I did 12 months, and I started having problems with my knee. And it's funny really, because you know I was talking about stuff like this with Kev Sinfield over the weekend at the Standard, as you know, you was part of, about them times. And the first time I had an issue with my knee was playing at Headingley against Leeds. And I come away and they was trying to find out what was wrong with my knee. And long story short, I ended up getting sent to Bupa in Leeds, which was private medical care at the time of the club. And I had a knee operation after my first season. And I just got into the first team at the time. I only made my debut in the first team. I had this knee operation. And then afterwards, they couldn't find out what it was, and it was going on for quite a bit. And basically, I got told at 18 to quit the game,
18?
Never to play again.
Oh my God!
Because we don't know what it is, and it just kept going like massive my knee, and like it's still to this day. I've had 5 operations since on my knees.
So from going from 10, 12-year-old playing to 18, and telling that you shouldn't play. I mean, that must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, the right word to use. I remember I'd gone out on Friday night. I got told on the Friday, and I distinctly remember the company I was working for at the time.
And where'd you go as well from that?
Yeah, and I was working for a company called Triline Plasters, and there's Kev Johnson who I worked for, and Dave Sarsfield, who was very rugby orientated. And I'd been out on the Friday night, and I was talking to Dave, one of the owners, at the top of the street, and I was just crying my eyes out, telling him at the top of the street, my mum and dad's street, because it just falls apart. I mean, you work all that time for that, and then someone says, "Oh, just quit."
Yeah. So it would have been all that you knew. Like,
it was, yeah, and it was all that I wanted to be. I mean, I had gone into construction as well, so I was working as a plasterer at the time. So thankfully I had that. But I did just ignore it. And I didn't tell anybody.
Dave.
Yeah, maybe me, yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually tell anybody. Dave knew at the time, but I didn't even tell the club. I'm pretty sure doctors probably should have really told the club and that, but maybe they didn't, and I just went back and just ignored it. But I couldn't really like sprint or anything like that. I mean, I weren't always the quickest anyway, so I had to do a lot of sprinting and stuff to keep up with the pace with everybody. I couldn't do that anymore. So
that's some determination. That was it painful as well?
Yeah. I mean, he just used like filled with fluid and stuff, and I had like cortisone injections and stuff for us and stuff like that. But I just kept on playing because, and I remember going on holiday after the operation. I did it on for 2 weeks with mates. We used to go at the end of the season, and I remember a few times on the holiday I got upset and stuff talking about it, and I just thought, where am I going to go? So I just decided to just put it to the back of my mind and carry on. Even though I wasn't ever going to be the player that I was before. I just carried on, and then the second season I actually got into the first team, and I got offered the chance to go full-time, so I was only part-time and doing the job as well as an apprenticeship, and I still got offered to go full-time.
Wow.
And I remember I was telling this story over
it must have been good, Dave.
I don't know, it's for other people to say, but so I remember going in, the coach at the time, a fella called Gary Mercer, said like, you've really kicked on, and I think you benefit from going full time, so you're not working all day, then playing against lads who's full time. So I remember this night, I remember getting in the car and racing home to tell my dad, and just to say like, listen, I've been offered, to go full time, and like, so I don't need to work anymore, and I can fulfill this.
Yeah.
Obviously knowing at the back of my mind that I'd been told to quit, when my dad knew I'd been told that, we just kind of ignored it, because we thought, let's see what we can do, let's roll the dice, I guess. So then I remember going in and saying, I'm dead excited this time. The other me thinking, my dad's all rugby. And he went, we're not going full time. And I went, all right, okay. And I was thinking like, what? I was just like dropped. And he went, no, you need to finish your apprenticeship. He says, you've got a bad knee. He said, you don't know which way that's going to go. He said, so you're not finishing your job and putting that career at one side because you don't know where this is going to go.
And how did you feel at the time with that being said to you?
I was gutted.
Would you see why he'd said that now?
Best decision that he ever made and I ever made.
Yeah.
I won't be doing what I'm doing now. Within, I think, 2 weeks, and the fella who I was talking about, Simon Gregory, before he used to coach me, who came at St Helens, he came watching, we'd played. I played at Headingley again. And there's a link here to Leeds, isn't there, as well? I was playing against them. And I played in the week one night, and I remember the coach, I'd said, like, I'm not going to go full time, whatever. And then a few weeks later, he said, oh, fair enough, I respect that and stuff. And then I had a really good game. I probably one of the better games I'd had. I remember the coach coming up to me again after the game saying, like, you know, the directors sat in the stand and stuff, they're desperate for you to go full time. And I said, I'm not going to do it. But then about 2 weeks after that, I had a really bad kind of episode with my knee, and it just went massive. It just used to swell all the time. I ended up going for another operation. And it was a mess, really. I had another operation, came back, and it was worse than it was like in the past. And I had a few games left, and at the end of the season, I had a decision to make. I'd finished my apprenticeship then. And
how old were you then?
18. So I'd finished my apprenticeship, and the decision there was to do I go full time because I had my trade, then I could go back to it or not. But they didn't offer me full time then. They'd even realised about my knee, and they said, we're not going to offer you full time, but we're going to give you a part-time contract again for the same the next year. But at the same time, I was struggling mentally, if I'm honest. Whitney, and when I look back, I probably only pieced it together as I've got older. At the time, you know what, back to what I was saying about that contract, I turned it down and said, no, I can't continue to commit, because I was going working, I was driving for an hour in the morning to get to site. 6 in the morning, whatever, doing a full day's work, driving back for another hour, getting a sandwich or whatever from my mum, make me a sandwich, pick it up straight out. And it was just taking its toll. I mean, I guess, I don't know at the time, because you didn't speak about it in them days. I was struggling, you know, I'd say for a 12-month period.
Was you? Because you wanted to pursue that dream.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's something that you'd known and that you did, well, all that you knew. And for you to be told that you couldn't do it, but you pushed on anyway, and then it to just get worse. Because you must have been thinking, when's the time it's going to end soon? Yeah, and you know it, don't you? I think you know it. And at that time, you know, I think for about a 12-month period, I used to talk to my mum about it regular. And I just wanted to cry every day. It just got that bad that I was just like, it was bad. And is that because of the pain that you was in, or is that because you knew that it was coming to an end?
I guess not the pain. The physical, that is what it is. You just get through that, don't you? But and it wasn't that bad. That was fine. I didn't know what it was. To be honest, I just had this feeling of overwhelm. And just didn't feel right. And I used to say to my mum, like, I just don't feel right. Now these days you've got people to go and talk to. People are far more open. But I just had this feeling of, like, you know, struggle to get up in the morning. And now when I look back, depression. It's depression. Yeah, probably is depression. And it was just, I was doing it, but going through the motions and didn't know what it was. Drinking quite a lot. You know, 3 nights a weekend. You know, put weight back on, and so I was in no real shape to be playing at that level. But I got away with it and still did well. And I knew what I know now. I'd have treated myself better, but you live and learn. Self-destruct more, didn't it? Yeah. As well, when you're running away from things, usually. Yeah. And because I hadn't told anybody, and like, I knew that I weren't playing at what I could have been. I knew it was over, really, because I wasn't naturally gifted or anything. Well, you sound it. Well, no. I think to play at that level, I had to work really hard, because there was things that held me back, and I couldn't do that. You just kind of kick the can down the road, don't you? And then I think it manifests and kind of presents itself in a way that, you know, maybe, like I said, it was depression. It was just a case of, just felt really down. Like, and even when I was just masking it, I was just going on the air all the time. And then it come to a point where I'd finished, and and then I turned that contract down, and I went to Rochdale after. I went to another professional club. But I just felt a weight off my shoulders, if I'm honest, and it just kind of almost changed overnight. I went on holiday at the end of the season, and I don't know, I think because I weren't in that Super League environment, and I thought it was a lower standard, it was Championship rugby, and it was more comfortable.
You weren't putting so much pressure on
I
yourself.
putting so much pressure, and I felt better, and I didn't understand. I just thought, wow, I feel
because we
better.
always want to overachieve, don't we, in anything that we're doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, to be going through that, and you would have obviously been playing again with people that don't have any injuries or anything like that. It must have been hard. Yeah,
and I mean, at the time, reserve rugby was, in my first year, it was Saturdays afternoons, which were fine. Then it was Thursday nights in my second season. But keep in mind, I've been plastering all day in Congleton or wherever, drove an hour, worked on Saturday, come back, and then I'm playing against lads who's, I don't know, been preparing all day and doing all the things that people do.
That's insane. How the hell did you go and do a full-time job?
No, I'm stupid. I still do it, don't I? And burn out. And I think at the time, like, now I know more, you know, about words like burnout and depression and all the rest of it. One, I'm not even sure Googling that were out at the time, so how old I am. So there was nothing. I used to read a doctor's book at my mum and dad's.
Did you?
Trying to work out what was up. I didn't know. I knew that something weren't right. I couldn't sleep. I'd get up in the morning, and like it was like a wave, like a roller coaster. I didn't feel right, and like this emotion of like 18-year-old lad playing rugby. Yeah. You just feel like you want to cry, and you've nobody to go to, and you don't know what about.
But you must have had to grow up really quick in this environment. If you think you was taking an adult responsibility from 15 fully when you were signed, like. That is a young age. Like I think like Lily's 13 now, and that's 2 years off Lily. I couldn't imagine her going into an environment like.
Well, my eldest lad's 12, and you know he's what? Yeah, a year off that. Yeah. And like I said, I used to play for the school rugby team. We used to finish school at 4 o'clock, then get to be at St Helens for like 5:45 or something. And I used to play for the school team, and play full game of rugby. But I'd just wait outside the school gates, pick me up, and go to St Helens.
Wow.
But I don't know, I never knew any different.
Yeah.
And, so looking back, I always think, how did I do it?
Yeah.
But it has set me up for good or bad. Like I said,
work ethic.
I've never been anywhere else than in an elite environment, I guess, at that period of time. I don't know.
And then, so you went to Rochdale.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah, I was never in it.
Was it not after that?
No.
Do you think it's because you just come to the end of it then? In your own mind as well, you'd accepted it?
I think so, yeah. I was happier as a person.
Was you?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of out my time, construction talk, I was out my time, I'd served my time, and I was going earning money. And I was earning decent money at the time. I mean, I think I was, to talk about from a lad who's, I was still only 19, I don't know, 500-600 quid a week, let's say, on site. Yeah. But then at the time at Rochdale, I was getting paid, because I'd come from a Super League club and gone to Rochdale, I was getting appearance money for playing, and then like it was the winning pay, losing pay and stuff, and then if you had a big game, the chairman would come in and said there's more money for this.
Oh, wow.
Some weeks it could be, one game in particular, and playing against the French team in the cup. I think it was like 500 or 600 quid to win it, and I got 600 quid at work as well. Yeah. So it was like happy days really, and it was only Rochdale's a bit closer than Halifax, and I didn't have to go every night.
Yeah.
I was going, say, 2 times a week rather than every day. I mean, when I was at Halifax, I was going all week, and I played on a Saturday or whatever. We used to call it a clear out, and I had to be there at 8 o'clock on the Sunday morning to train again. And we'd run up and down the steps in the stand and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, at Rochdale it was easier, but again, I don't know, I don't think if I'm speaking honestly that my heart was ever in it, and but I'd started enjoying myself then, and I smile when I say that, because I'd gone through that 12 months of not knowing what the hell was up with me, and I've been in periods of that since, I'm sure we'll get on to, and I'm always likely to go back, whether it's in me or whether it's from that point, I don't know, but I was just feeling good then, and I look back at that time, I was looking back at the previous 12 months thinking, wow, that nightmare is now over. Yeah. And like, I can get up and smile in the morning and put some music on it. I wasn't happy once in that 12 months in my second year. I can honestly tell you that now. And I mean that, which is sad really at that age. And I guess that's a lot of pressure building up to it for whatever reason and such. But
It would have been because it's like we just said, it's like it was all that you knew from such a young age and something that you really was passionate about and it was your dream. For you to then thinking, you must have knew psychologically it were coming to an end and
I think that the going to a lower level was a welcome thing for me, really. And I was enjoying myself again. I didn't feel the need to go and mask it through getting hammered all the time. And I didn't do loads. I did about, I want to say about 6 months, can't remember. And I just went back playing amateur rugby and I just said, I'm done with the professional game. I just want to go and play with my mates because I'm not having fun, I'm enjoying it, I'm earning money. But I'd also I had, from getting told to quit at 18, I'd also got an eye on what I wanted to do next because I was ambitious and I am ambitious. So I knew it weren't going to be rugby.
Very ambitious, let's put it right.
Well, well, you know what I mean? So going into construction, I thought, right, how can I map a way forward from being on site to going, in my head I was thinking, what qualifications can I take, how can I go into, I don't know, management,
See, that's even
teaching.
good though at 19 because it's like people going to college these days and they don't have a clue what they want to do.
No.
Do you know, like...
No. Which is why I do what I do, because I get the opportunity now to share this, well, I've not shared this before, but to kind of make a difference to other people's lives who's going through the same. But I went back playing amateur rugby and started, I was earning money in my trade and stuff. And then I started looking at what I could do next. I had a period of, I think about 12 months back in amateur game, then I started getting offers again to go, but I started playing pretty well again because I was enjoying myself. A certain knee was still knackered. I think I might have had another operation by then. I mean, injury-wise...
I know, go on, tell us about your injuries. Ooh, you know what, it's really like a rugby. I can't really watch rugby because it's like boxing. It makes me go, like, that takes some balls to get on that field and think, right, that's it, let's go.
So if you live in Leeds, you just have to play rugby and that's that, or any of these northern towns. But no, I had a period of...
Do you never get scared when you're going on the field, like thinking, gee, anything could happen right now?
I think when you're coming back from injuries, it's in the back of your mind. But you can't, like I tell my lads now, all my girls, if they go into it, if you cross that white line, you're in it. And that's that. You can't be scared of anything. You can't. If you are, and you're reluctant, then is when you get injured.
Really.
But I had a period of, the injuries are... I think there's some woman trying to tell me that I shouldn't play rugby.
Just stop moving.
Because when I was a kid, I broke me. And there's lots of other people that have worse, but I broke my hand when I was a kid when I was playing, and then I obviously had the knee operations. I had 2 when I was like professional. I went to Rochdale and I popped my collarbone out and it kind of just popped out. And
that is awful.
That weren't great. And then when I went back amateur, I broke, was it first season? I broke my arm. And I come back from that. And then...
Do you think you like pain, Deb?
I don't know, probably. And then I had a period where I broke my arm and then I broke my thumb and I come back and then I did my AC joint on one shoulder, come back, did my other one, popped
Oh my gosh.
And then I broke my leg and then I broke my foot.
What the hell?
And I broke my finger and it was just a period of about 4 years.
Stop.
Yeah, carried on. Another 3 knee ops, so 5 knee ops, all those breaks and kind of carried on doing it. I went back. I went back and did, I think, a season or so amateur, and then I started getting offers, and I kind of didn't want to do it if I'm being really honest. And then I thought, you know what, let's have another go.
Oh my gosh, there's no giving up with this guy.
No, I went to a club called Charlie Links. At the time, they don't exist anymore. And I started playing there, and again, I wasn't in it. I shouldn't have gone. Shouldn't have gone. And I went there, and I did about 6 months, and same again. And I ended up going through a similar kind of period where I was struggling again, and really struggling. Just did the whole overwhelm and everything. And I don't know what I was travelling a lot with work, and I had to come out of it again. So I guess both times coming out to professional game was because I was struggling to kind of balance everything, I guess, and the injuries as well. And then I went back to amateur, and then I did get offers after, but I never went back. I thought, no, I'm not doing it.
That's good though.
And then I followed the career with the construction then.
Yeah, so was that the revolution of DMR, or what did you do straight after that?
After I'd finished with I'd really put a stop to the rugby, although I carried on playing amateur, even through all the injuries, and I just carried on.
What did your dad say when you stopped rugby?
He always used to say, just keep going and keep going at it, even if you just, because it's a change of mindset, because he knew, I think looking back now, you know the story with my dad, but looking back now, he was wiser than I perhaps thought at the time.
Yeah, because you would have been going against everything. You would have thought, I know best. We all...
Yeah, and I think he saw that I did struggle when I come out. I think because I was throwing myself so much at work like I do now, and wanting to succeed with a career, I think he knew that rugby was my kind of release. Now, even if it was playing amateur and going out with the lads after the game, and a lot of my friends are through rugby league, and I'm very grateful of that. So I kept going, even after the injuries. I kept going back and going back, and I did argue. That's the only time that's the only thing I ever argued with my dad about. Right. And I used to have some real arguments and say, like, I don't want to go back. You know, I'm done, and I'm not playing at the level I was. And he used to say, yeah, but it's something else in your life that you know
keeps you occupied.
I didn't have children then, and it just keeps you occupied, and you can switch off from work, because you know as well as I do, like you are. When I'm switched on with it, I'm work, and it's like if I go to a rugby club and have a laugh with mates or whatever, even if I've not had the best game or whatever, it was a release. So yeah, that's what my dad was like at the time, and yeah, that's what I did for another probably about 10 years. And I went into coach, then went back again, and then broke something else, and you know. And then they got knocked out, and then all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So when you went on your new career path with construction, tell us about that.
Yeah, I was working on site, and as I say, I always did it alongside the rugby anyway, through you know the wisdom of my dad, I guess, and the people I was working for.
Was your dad were in rugby, weren't he? Was he involved in construction as well?
No, like most people around our way, worked in the pit, down the mines.
Yeah.
And then he went into engineering. But he was involved in rugby and football. He coached a lot of teams. And he was sport was my dad all over. But yeah, construction. I was working on site, plastering, and then I saw an opportunity. I wanted to do something. I was looking at doing like an HNC or HND or something like that. I wanted to do something else because I was at school. I enjoyed school. I was quite academic as well as the rugby and stuff. So I like, you know, a lot of people don't like being in office or whatever, but I like that. So I thought, right, I want to do something with that. Didn't really find anything, and then all of a sudden one day, my Auntie Edna, who was my mum's cousin, used to call everybody Auntie in them days, didn't you?
Like the friends.
Auntie Edna, Auntie Judith Street, you know what I mean? So yeah, Auntie Edna picked up a Metro newspaper. You didn't you?
Yeah, so, anyone and everyone. Everyone in the dog, that's your auntie and that's your uncle.
So from now on, my kids are going to call you Auntie Whitney.
They can do anyway then.
Yeah, but you know the Metro newspaper, it's coming one day, and it was an advert saying, do you want to train the next generation and do you want to get involved in work-based assessing? Never heard of it. And so I think I rung this number, and it was a company called Skill Solutions, what's now the Growth Company in Manchester. And they did a course. What they was trying to do is get people, ironically what we're trying to do now, get people from industry to come into FE, further education, to teach and train the next generation. But they struggle with it because people were earning a lot of money on site, and still are, as you know. So they put a course on. It's called Cove Centre of Vocational Excellence, which I now find myself involved in the development of across Europe, which is where I've been going the last 12 months or so. I guess they're just catching on. But yeah, 2006 that, and when was it? Yeah, 2006. So they paid you to go on a course. It was like a couple £100 a week. So I think what they realised is we're going to have to pay people to come on, and if we stand any chance of getting anybody into it. So I went, and it was a 3-week course. I think it was 3-week course, £200 a week, and you go and do. It's like a taster to how teaching and assessment works in construction. So I went, and I always laugh about this because this is where Esby comes in. And I'm very grateful to her for this. So I turned up and I went into central Manchester. You know, I love the whole razzmatazz of going into Manchester, working from Manchester, and this, that, and the other. But I went this day, and the first day was in what's now Churchgate. I think it's called something else now. Churchgate House, where GMCA based. Went in the first session. He was talking about it, and I was sat around this table, felt so uncomfortable. And
why do you think you felt uncomfortable?
I don't really feel probably a bit better now. I'm comfortable because I know you, but I still don't feel that comfortable around tables like that, and I get quite nervous. And
but why? That's insane to think, because you are very you're so creditable within the industry as well.
Again, matter of opinion, but so I was around this table, and you know, I still know if somebody just says, you know, introduce yourself, icebreaker, I get real.
I hate them.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
Listen, it's like, and then you think, well, what the hell do I say about myself?
Yeah.
And then you think, I can't say too much because people are going to think I'm bragging. I can't stand anything like that. There's jobs out there where you go and they make you do what's it called? Like, I don't know, some like kind of acting and something in a group. I'm like, I just say I don't want the job.
No. Well, that's it's funny that because I kind of did. And I was sat around, it was like icebreaker. And at that point, like, I can be quite strong-minded. I was like, I've done. I'm walking out.
That's me.
And I said to Esby at the time, I'm done. I don't want it. I'm done. I'm not doing it. And she said, no, you're not. I've actually gone into Manchester to do some shopping or whatever, or gone for a brew. I said, no, you're not. I'm not picking you up. I said, come pick me up. I'm not picking you up. You're staying.
That's funny.
I was going to swear. I'm not going to swear to that. You're not leaving.
That is hilarious.
So I weren't leaving, was that?
You better stay there, boy.
Better stay. So I did stay, and I don't know, something happened, I guess, and like I got to dinner time, and then into the afternoon, I just started enjoying it, and I don't know, it was like something happened, and I guess maybe I'm being a bit deep about it, and I just thought I feel really comfortable here, and I like the look of this. So I stuck around for the afternoon. I thought, wow, this is really good. And then I went back the day after, and I loved it. And then within the first couple of weeks, I got offered a job. I think one of the first ones on it, do you want to be a work-based assessor, which is going assessing people on site, which obviously now I have a company and people do that. So I stuck around. I did the 3 week or whatever. I took a massive pay cut to go into it from what I was earning in construction. But again, I knew it was like one step back to take 2 steps forward. But I had a pathway there, and I thought, this is it. You know what? I can go into this. It doesn't bother paperwork and stuff like that. I had to learn. I've never been on the internet or anything at that point. And everybody else had. I didn't want an email or anything like that, so I had to learn pretty quickly. And I had to just kind of teach myself at home. And it goes back to another thing my dad told me once about a job he had years ago when he came out of the pit and went into a job in Atherton. I remember he used to tell me this story that he went into this job and didn't know about it, and he spent about 20 minutes in touch trying to work something out because he didn't want to tell people that he didn't know. And I felt like that was my kind of moment for that. I was like, I've got to learn quick. Took the job and the pay cut, but it was like, if you get your assessor qualification, it's a £500 salary increase. If you get quality assurance qualification, it's more teaching. And I just threw myself at everything. Typical Dave style. I did my assessor qual, my quality assurance, my teaching qual, and there was never a period in that 5 years I spent there that I weren't doing a qualification of some form. And I love the whole thing of working in the city centre and dressing up, shirt and tie we had to wear in them days. And then I did 5 years, and then I got offered a job with CITB, Construction Industry Training Board, as an audit, like it's called EQA, External Quality Advisor, but it's basically an auditor going around. I looked after the Midlands. So all the colleges in the Midlands, all the colleges and training providers in the Midlands, I was the guy who went in and basically checked if what they were doing was right and such. And our head office was Norfolk, so we used to go there every quarter, which I'm sure will lead into other bits in a minute. So that was where I went into that, and then I did 12 months there, and then started DMR. It was a whistle stop tour of that, I guess, but
that's incredible though, from rugby player to then leading with a CITB are huge.
They are,
Wow, that's insane. So, and then, well, I know your story. You started DMR on the kitchen table with Esby. And then, go on, tell us, because I mean, you've been going now 13 years, is it? Is it 13?
13 years in January. Yeah, it was, again, I think, you know me, I believe everything happens for a reason, and you know, things happen throughout your life, and I think if you're wise enough to kind of take notice of that and learn from it. Again, if nothing else, I just want to learn every day.
Yeah.
Even what I'm doing now, you know, it's relatively new to me, and I'm learning. But yeah, I was going round and thinking, you know what, I think I could do this. I was the guy that was auditing, and I built a good relationship through, I think, just being honest and being authentic, and I built a relationship with a lot of people. But I was travelling a lot. We didn't have children at the time. And then it was probably, I had ambitions to start something.
Yeah.
But I think it accelerated it. Like I just said, we had to go to the head office in Norfolk 4 times a year. And I think I was thinking about it, and I thought, I can do this. And it was the next step where I thought, this is my big opportunity. It was rugby all over again.
Yeah.
It was 10-year-old Dave saying, you know what, I'm going to set my stall and be a rugby player. And I got there. You know, like, no, I didn't have a career like other people have, and there's reasons behind that. Everybody can talk about what could have been. I get that. I get that, and I don't want to be one of those people. I've been invited on to tell the story. I wouldn't tell it. Probably the first time I've explained it in this detail. Yeah.
Oh, well, I feel privileged. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So yeah, this was my big moment. I think it was like, right, I can make something of myself again now.
Was you scared setting up? Oh, was you not? So you were,
No, because I knew that
it's going to work.
Like I said, I've done that, and from being the fat kid who, you know, I think at one point when I was young, there was a time, I was talking with Kev Sinfield about this last week, and there's him and Mickey, and other friends I know that like got in the Lancashire squad. I remember once, I think there was about 8 lads in our team that got picked for Lancashire. I think there was only about, at the time, about 3 or 4 of us left.
Wow.
And I was one of them, and I never got picked. So if I can turn myself from being that fat kid who never got picked to go in and playing, breaking into first team in the Super League club, I could start a business and do something with it. I think, or I thought.
Oh, you bloody know.
So yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then what really kind of everything happening for a reason. I was in Norfolk to one of the team meetings, and we just found out that Esby were pregnant at the time. We hadn't told anybody. And obviously, you know, we've got 5 now. Yeah. But yeah, as much as we've got 5 children, we had 2 miscarriages.
That must be absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, and I mean, you deal with it like you deal with everything else in life. But yeah, I was in Norfolk, and Esby had rung me and said, like, you know, I don't feel right or whatever, and I can't remember how the conversation went. But I was over there, and we knew we wanted to start a family, and I'm no good 5 hours away, am I?
No.
So she took herself off to hospital at Wigan, and I was trying to get home, and I hadn't gone in the car. I'd gone with a friend of mine, Andy Philbin, who I worked with at the time. And bless him, Andy, he literally drove me all the way back 5 hours that night, from Norfolk up to his house at Stockport. I got in my car and came home, and at that time, I remember I'd got home, I'd been to the hospital, it had happened, she was there on her own, and without going into the details of what happened, everybody knows what happens in situations like that. You know, it's a painful experience for somebody to go through on their own, and I wasn't there. I didn't feel great about it, and I got home and she was sat on the couch. I can picture her now, you know, our last house, sat on the couch, with her feet up, the knees up, just crying. So I knew at that point that I couldn't travel, I couldn't keep travelling anymore, and yeah, that was that. I mean, at the time, again, I'm not sure how much I want to go into this, and out of respect to my brother as well. My brother was going through a tough time with mental health, and he was really struggling, and yeah, that's all I'll say. I don't want to go into too much detail.
And you just wanted, after all this going on, you just realised you need to be with people.
I couldn't be there for people, and like I said, you know, I guess I can say that my brother ended up in hospital with it, and so I've got this on one side and my brother on the other side, and you know, it was tough, but I just needed to be there.
Yeah.
And, you know, as tough as it is, you just face these situations. So, you know that, you know, it's you just have to deal with it, and you know, you can't just bury yourself, and you know, you've got to address it and think, right, how do I move forward in this situation? So I've got to be there for Esbit, I've got to be there for my brother, and my mum and dad at the time, because my mum and dad didn't understand what was going on with my brother, and neither did most of us. And I've got to praise him here because he come through it, and he worked hard on himself, and I was really proud, really proud that he did. And yeah, you kick on from that. So at least I was available. I needed to just be available, Whitney, you know what I mean? As much as it was hard and seeing these things and getting up. I remember like at the time, you know, I remember a fella who was also worked at CITB, a fella called Dave James at the time, ringing me a couple of weeks later and said like, how are you? And I said, oh, I'm all right. And you know, Esby's all right, my brother. And he went, I didn't ask that. I asked, how are you? And it's something that sticks in your mind. And I went, no, I'm all right, Dave. He went, are you? And I went, yeah, I'm all right. And it was just, the reason I said that is because, I don't know, you feel quite isolated as well. And I don't expect anybody to feel sorry for me. And it was the catalyst to start the business, which is why I'm going into it. But yeah, it was tough. But I think through adversity, you know, that's, you know, the other edge of adversity, I guess, is where growth is, isn't it?
100%.
And I set up the business, and I get the, you know, the bit between your teeth. You get the bit between your teeth, don't you? And think, you know what, I'm going to change this, because what can I do to kind of sort that situation at least? And so when you said I was scared about it, I set the business because I knew that I had a duty to be there for my wife, to be there for my brother. And I'm incredibly proud of both of them, that they come through that tough time, regardless of what I would do.
And that's off to you though for doing that as well, like, because some people would just stay in a job and just think, well, I'm going to have to do this, and like for you to just say, you know what, no, I know where my priorities are, my values, like.
There's no fun with no risk, though, is there?
No,
and there's no growth with no risk. So yeah, off I set, and. I remember at the time too. Sorry, I didn't. This is a massive thing that I've missed. Shortly after that miscarriage, as we fell pregnant again, and we had our first child, Jack.
Oh.
So throw him into the mix.
Yeah.
Throw him into the mix, and being a new dad, and getting no sleep. And I laugh at this because it's the norm. But it's hard function on no sleep.
Oh God, tell me about it. I don't sleep now.
And he had like colic and stuff like that, and he was going
colic
on.
Colic is the worst.
So yeah, at the time, it was, when was that, obviously?
And you just started the business then?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just started the business. So yeah, Jack came on, but Jack didn't have the best time when he came into the world, and you know, obviously you've never had a kid before, and you don't know all the ropes, and Esby didn't know the ropes and stuff, and you know, she's incredibly strong. You know that, you know her.
She is.
She is. So
I call her, I think she's Wonder Woman. How she does what she does with 5 kids. Yeah, she is.
Yeah. You know, I went on the retreat last week, and you asked me how it went and stuff, and they asked, who's your favourite person, and I said Esby for all these things.
She doesn't give herself enough credit either.
Absolutely not. And you know, having a strong person behind you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So yeah, she had Jack.
Yeah.
Out of there, other hand, like I should. So yeah, we had Jack. But obviously, when you've never been pregnant before, and you lose one first, and you go through that, and especially in the way that it happened, you're on edge, aren't you? Thinking, is it going to go right?
Yeah.
So we went in when we had him, and he was 2 weeks over, and this, that, and the other, because those Radleys are always late. You know. So yeah, we had Jack, and on when we had him, it wasn't going well. Again, without going into the graphic detail, it wasn't going well, and we ended up, when Jack was brought into this world, he was pulled out. It's called Von Someone giving it this, I know that. He literally was pulled out. It was kind of, I use this phrase, go time. It was go time. There was about 8 doctors rushed in.
Oh my gosh!
At the point where he getting brought through, brought into the world, and he was born, and it was touch and go, and he spent his first week in an incubator. I remember going up, he was downstairs in the incubator, and Esby was with him, and I had to, one of the decisions I had to make. I mean, it sounds probably trivial, I guess now, but there were decisions I had to make about the treatment he had. And it's that, I think that's kind of influenced my decision making. What I do now is like he had to have a lumbar puncture and other things. And I remember the nurse coming up saying, you know, we need consent, this, that, and the other.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to make the decision. They said, well, this could go wrong, that could go wrong. No. And some of the things they were telling me, and I just had to make a decision quickly. Thankfully, it all went fine. And I mean, there's other things that happened with him. He didn't walk for a while, and his hips weren't aligned. And I mean, he's a sporty lad now, and the rest of it. And I think it's made him who he is, even now. But like 12-year-old, he's a resilient kid. And yeah, you know, when this goes out, he'll listen to it, and I'm fine with that. And you know, so yeah, I think the reason I mentioned that is the decisions you make. So, but all this was going on at the time where the business was starting.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, that was a period.
It's probably a tough period.
Yeah, so it was good. So that's how the business started, and then the first year, I remember saying to the accountant what I wanted to make, and it was just roughly what I was making before. Yeah. And I'd more or less doubled it, and then the year after I'd started. It just rolled.
So you knew that, like, with the job that you were doing with CITB, that you could just run it, you could do it on your own. I mean, you would have built up your reputation within the industry as well. And what made you just think, right, I'm going all in on this, like, and just go in?
I'm all in on everything. I think you are. It's just a given, I guess, and I don't know any other way, which has caught me out a few times in life with the whole burnout or whatever we're going to call these periods I go through, which I've got better at dealing with over the last kind of 12 months or so, through working with different people. The standard being one, you know, Paul and everything that goes with it.
It's a brilliant group, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And
what did you do though before this? Like, for 13 years, you've been building the business.
Just try to learn, like, kind of live and learn.
What are your lessons within business?
There's loads, and you know me. So when I say this, you understand. Like, we should be far further down the line than we are now. I could have learned better and quicker. Yeah. I don't know. We can all say that. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit there, though, Dave. You are doing amazing, you guys. Yeah. It's what you want yourself, you know.
It's like, I had this conversation with another business owner, literally actually last week, and it was like, when do we ever get to that goal? Like, we'll get to a certain goal, but then we want another goal. Yeah. Do you know?
It's a process, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, you know, like, I've got into marathons and all that kind of stuff, do things and challenging myself. And
that family marathon you guys did. I don't even know how you lot find the time to do everything that you do. Because your kids are all, they're dead active as well, aren't they?
I don't know whether this is a good thing or bad thing when I say this, but I don't know any different. I don't think any of us know any different. I'm trying to learn how to control that more. I'm not clever with that. Especially with people like you on phone too. We just bounce off each other, don't we?
Both as nuts as each other, that's why.
I think I don't know, I enjoy it. I think
do you like to keep busy, obviously?
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
From the minute I open my eyes, I could wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, me, and I'm like, right, I'll go gym. Yeah. I'll do this, I'll do that. I don't like to sit still.
No.
I don't feel like I'm being, what's the word? Productive.
No.
Like, I can't sit still.
No. I think, I'm the same. And I don't know any different, really. If I'm not working or training or doing stuff with kids, and I wouldn't say, I'm not present and all that kind of stuff. I do
you are
stuff
definitely
with kids,
present. Yeah.
As I say, I think at the minute, I probably need to be. I really don't like the phrase "be kind to yourself," and I know.
No, you should. Yeah.
I know it's something that's important, but it's just, I don't know. I like chasing goals and everything. what I've told you we've gone through and
challenges.
And such. And listen, people go through far worse. I'm not sitting here.
It's challenges of business as well, though, and it's like, as an owner as well, I always think we put so much pressure on ourselves that we don't look after ourselves.
No.
And it's because you've got to because you're looking after the teams and stuff like that. But when you're going through challenges and you're the only one with the decisions on your shoulders and stuff, it's hard.
Yeah. I think, you know, if you was to say, you know, what's the challenging business, I mean, there's a lot of them. And there's somewhere I'm going with this. It's people and expecting, because I know what I'm like and you're like, or Esby's like, or whatever. Yeah. But I kind of expected other people to be the same. Yeah. They're not.
It's like that saying, innit? It's like, we expect everyone to treat us like we treat others, and it's not the reality.
No. And you know, even if I've had jobs in the past and stuff, I can honestly say I've always been passionate about the place I've worked for, because if I'm not, and my heart's not in it, like in every rugby, I'll just leave.
Yeah.
I'm not going to burden anybody with it or take the piss, so to speak.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'll just leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do something that I enjoy or whatever. And I think there's far too many people, you know, go about it and moan about it and this, that and the other, and I hate where I am, or whatever. My dad used to say stuff like that.
You know what? Yeah, well, it's like, just move.
Yeah. Like, I remember my brother used to come home and say, somebody said this at work and they don't like it. My dad used to say, listen, John.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time, they'll still be there moaning about the same things. But it's not me that. I'll just leave and not kind of burden anybody. But as I say, I still can't expect people to have the same drive and everything else, energy that I have, because it's my business, and there's reasons, because when you set up, like I just said to them, when you set up,
you genuinely care
and
as
you've,
well.
Yeah, and you've got these things driving you because you're a failure. You're not a failure. Well, but ultimately that's the right term. I failed at that for whatever reason. That's on me, and so I didn't want to fail at something else. So that drives you, and then when you go through the things that I've mentioned, as I say, there's far more what's going on. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But you know,
you have gone through quite a lot
with what we've gone through, whether it be injuries, whether it be, you know, losing a child or whatever. These things drive you, and you think, you know what? And my take on things as a whole is, you know, you get one life, you're here, do something with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not done. I'm nowhere near done.
No, are you right? You're all just getting started, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think these things just
push you on.
And I've no doubt that I'm going to go through a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, like what happened with my dad 2 years ago, that was another massive point. And
because your dad's been a massive part in your life.
Yeah.
He was like your biggest number one fan, wasn't he?
You get me upset now.
I know. No, I don't want you to get
upset. No, it's all right.
Your dad was your number one fan and really believed in you, and obviously you were really close.
Yeah.
So it must have been a tough time. Yeah,
and it was out of the blue. Totally out of the blue. I mean, you know, these things are coming, and I don't do regrets. It's useless. I just find it useless. You just learn from things, don't you? And I don't believe in it. But I used to. I think you know I used to go out with my dad every week and just watch his sport and stuff, and I've prioritised that time for a long time, because I knew that time would come. When someone starts getting older, you know it's going to come for all of us. And listen, it could be tomorrow for me, you, anybody. I'm a realist. You're going on and cracking on and thinking, it might come. I mean, I did sense something weren't right, which I can go into, I guess, if you need me to. But it just happened all of a sudden. I was out with him at the weekend and talked to him about everything else, everything I'm doing. All the stuff I've talked about today, the rugby stuff we talked about most weeks, because he lived and breathed it all the way through. He was my biggest fan.
He was your inspiration though, wasn't he? Because I remember when we first met, and there was something that you said in regards to like one of your values that your dad always stuck by, and it stuck in my head. It was something along the lines of, I'm sure it was about helping people.
Yeah. Sorry, I was getting upset at this point. No, it's all right. No, it spends a life doing that, and I guess I knew that. But as I say, it happened and come out of the blue. I've been out with him the other weekend, and then he got took into hospital and so on, and he had a fall. What we found out, we didn't know at the time, he had a stroke, and he'd had a second stroke, and then he fell and he broke his leg at the top, went into hospital, had this operation, and didn't know whether he'd come round or not, and he did. So it was like a roller coaster for me, and he did, and I went speaking to him, and he was due to come out, and he was a strong bloke. And I remember going in the physio. Coincidentally, the physio was, when I went in, I'd actually seen who it was. It was my old physio from rugby. Wow. And she said, you know what, he's a strong, fit bloke. It's about me in his 80s, which I'm grateful for that he got to that age, of course. He'd bounced back from this operation. We'd had to have it pinned and stuff. Yeah. And he was on this frame and I was doing squats the day after. You're 2 days. He got him moving. Which, like, not squat, we pushing yourself, like squats guided squats. And she said, no, he's doing great.
Wow.
Rachel. So I thought, we're opening you back up again, thinking, and it's an emotional roller coaster. And then I went back. The day after, it was his birthday, and it was a bit up and down. I thought, no, he's fine, he's going to come out. And I didn't take my kids. I wanted to see though, because my kids, especially Jack, my eldest, he was, really close with my dad, as is Joseph. He was just getting into it. So I went back on the Wednesday and I said to Jack, he was going to train at the Wigan Harriers, and I said to Jack, you can come now because Grandad's looking all right. I thought if he goes in and sees him quite perky and stuff. And we went in, he was just asleep, my dad. So tough. And I walked in with Jack and I just thought, this is the last time he's going to see him. Sorry. So I said to Jack, no, go out, he's just asleep, whatever. And I thought, he can't see him and hear what I'm going to hear. So I went in, I said, what's up with him? And they just said, oh, he might just be, like, the strokes might have took it out of him, might just be this tend to sleep for a while and stuff. So they said, oh, we'll do checks and stuff like that. So I got in touch with my mum and Nigel and my brother and said, there's something not right or whatever. Anyway, about 2 hours later, they rung and said, can you all come in? Oh, sure. Then they rung and said he's had another massive stroke to the other side of his head and it's unlikely to recover. So we was all stood around the bed, and it was about a month period, 3-4 week period that we just had to kind of, we kept going and going through the motions and stuff. And I mean, me being me, I carried on training, I carried on doing what I'm doing to kind of block it out. Yeah, of course. And then obviously that time came where he passed away.
So sorry.
No, thank you. But as I say, you've got to take what you can from it, and we did. And I think, going back to that, helping people, when we had the funeral, the church was packed, and I mean packed all through the church, all outside. The porch were outside, and I spoke, which was a big honour. But when you start, obviously with something like that, you start kind of looking back, because when you're doing a eulogy, you've got to write about the life, haven't you? Yeah. So me being me, and I'm emotional, and you've seen this.
We're both as bad as each other. I knew we'd cry today.
No. I'd spent about a week writing this, and every day I was just in floods of tears.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But what come from that is a lot of strength as well. Yeah, I think it's fine to get emotional, and I don't think it makes any less of a person. I think it's good to get it out, and I probably should have done it more at the time. But what I realised is what he had done, and how he'd spent his life, and the parallels to how I am and what I do, and the decisions he's made for me and with me throughout my career that set me on this path, which I'm obviously extremely grateful for. And you start realising that, and who he's helped, and there was people who's gone into professional football and gone to the top, and who's texting me saying, I'm sorry to hear, and I don't do Facebook, but my niece had put it on, and there were all these messages, and people could, like I say, it was just like an outpouring of support. And then I'd found that he'd literally spent his life just helping everybody and getting people from there to there, and the kids who didn't have anything. He's told me stories about kids who used to walk miles to train in a pair of pumps. They didn't have, and he's took them on board and got them into the professional game, and so he's impacted a lot of lives.
And I think that's the comment that you made to us when we first come on the planning and strategy meeting, is carrying on his legacy.
Yeah, and that's everything for me.
Yeah, it is. That does really shine through with you. Yeah.
I'd like to think that
it does.
If there was anything you could remember me by, I'd love to be that.
100%.
And making it about that. But I think that also tripped me up because I just threw myself into everything. I was on about it today for some reason. On the day my dad passed away, in the morning, I told probably one of the worst moments of my life. I remember telling the boys, and they was just in floods of tears, as was I. But you know what? They both, Jack and Joseph at the time, and I don't think George and Alice understood as much, obviously. And all they wanted to say, "Oh, you're all right, Dad. It was selfless."
Yeah.
Jack shows a lot of emotion, and he's older and stuff, and Joseph's a bit of a character, and people don't think he's a bit of a rebel, but he's a sensitive kid, and he was heartbroken, devastated. And to tell them that, when my dad was so, present in their lives, it was tough. And as I say, I'm emotional. There's worse goes on. Someone in their 80s who's lived a good life, and I'm very grateful that I had that
but
time.
It's okay, everyone goes through something, it's trauma still.
Yeah.
And for your lads to even be able to express their emotions like that.
Yeah, and it's good, and it brought us closer, I think, and things that come into my head now, that this is going to keep making me cry.
You're going to keep making me cry.
But yeah, that week, that it was a case of let's make Grandad proud, let's carry on his legacy.
Yes.
And that was it for all of us, and all the things you see now out there, and I think it was at Christmas time we started to go on Instagram and stuff like that, and I wanted to tell the story a bit more, and I hope.
I said you should.
Yeah, you did. It's your fault that I keep popping up everywhere.
Well, you're going to even go even deeper soon, if I've got anything to do.
And
But you should do, because it is carrying on your dad's legacy.
It is.
And it's you and your father are so inspiring, and look at the amount of lives that he's impacted, do you know?
Yeah, and I think with that, how we took it, and this is good and bad, I think, where we took it as a family is we want to make him proud, and everybody's kicked on. So the stuff you see going out, and the stuff, because for me, and trying to help people, I want other people to know that you can, have a miscarriage, and you can lose your father, and you can.
Well, it's been an absolute roller coaster for you when you think about it, Dave.
Something.
Yeah. You have had an absolute load of shit chucked at you from a young age. Yeah, and you still here, still going every single day, still the happy, chappy and motivated.
Yeah, but I've been fortunate as well. I've had them people behind me, and I always try to look at the positives. As I say, after that, I think it was a Tuesday, I remember, I went out running that day. I was training for Manchester Marathon, so it was no, I'm not taking a backward step. I'm not going to sit at home thinking about it. For the first few weeks I was running, and people must have thought I was mad, because all the emotion came out when I was running. So I was running around the streets right now, and people must have thought, is this guy running crying?
Dave.
So and my eldest lad, he played on the Saturday, which was a lovely story, and I didn't know he'd done it. And he was playing for a team called Alison Town at the time, and a lot of the kids in that team were kids of parents I'd grown up with, which were nice, and they was really good at the time, that group of people. And he played at weekend, and everybody knew, and everybody was kind of giving me hug and condolences and stuff, which was tough. But he went and scored the winning goal, and just took his top off, and he had "Love You, Grandad"
Oh, don't!
on his top.
Oh my God!
And I didn't know he got that on. And at that time, everyone on the touchline just kind of, I do it a dry eye, and he just took his shirt off and kind of went like that.
Oh, Dave.
And then just wiped his eye with the shirt, put it back on, and carried on. And for me, that was testament to him and the way we'd try to kick on from that. He thought, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. Rather than, I was getting all the, and I'm not saying there's not a place for this, I was getting all the stuff from school of like, does somebody need to speak to him, and does he? And I said, no, we're doing it in our own way. And he did. And yeah, that's what we've done since. So everything you see going out is exactly that.
I knew you'd have me cry my eyes out.
No. If I'm going, you're going.
No thanks. Taking me down with you. Oh my gosh.
But again, they can think independently, and from that period, they know that you can take strength from that. And you know what? I'm not going to be here forever, and they need to know. I'm not being harsh with it. They need to know that
they'll carry on your legacy.
I hope so.
Continuously.
Yeah. So there's got to be more to it. So everything you may or may not ask me now about business, how it goes, and it's got to be tied to something, hasn't it? From your background and
100%.
Where you want to go.
What motivates you and inspires you to keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, honestly, your story is just insane. Thanks for making me cry. Yeah. I've got mascara all down my eyes. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, so with DMR, I mean, with what you do it's impactful with what you do. You're training people up with new careers. I mean, some of the things that you have going on behind the scenes is insane. Before we come on board, I can't believe this was all hidden away.
Yeah, and you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I've got to say, tremendous job. And I tell you, I'm about, complimenting people when they do something. Everybody in this world's eager to hammer people when it's not gone right. I think it's important to compliment people when whatever that may be. I forgot what word, business, DMR, I was shouting about. I don't know. So we are impacting.
That must be rewarding though. You're giving all these people the careers and that is rewarding.
Yeah, and that's why I do it. Like before we came here today, we've sponsored a young girl, a rugby friend of ours, Alison. It's her daughter.
Oh shit! You
guys have put it out, and things like that we can do. And in a very similar way, people say, I was after yesterday when you took a brief for this and stuff like that. I got my laptop out and I was working on our vision and mission statements and stuff, and where we want to be, and.
Where do you want to be, Dave?
We want to be the biggest training provider, construction training provider in the UK. Not worldwide, UK first.
Yeah.
Well, and
global domination.
I was reluctant to say that when I did the Goldman Sachs program and stuff up to Melbourne, and it was kind of a bit what's the word, tentative with it. But what I've seen over the last couple of years now, we've grown and what I've learned, and the people are getting on board. Yeah. And that's been a learning process, learning curve, as you know. We're in a space that allows us to go and pursue that now, and it's not just a pipe dream anymore. It's real, and I think I probably do still look for reassurance from people, and I get it. And sat in rooms like where I went last week in Sorrento, and surrounded with people like your Pauls and your Kevs and your Jamies and everybody and yourself and a host of other people. They raise you up on. They've either done it and you can try to emulate that or at least follow that, or they want you to do it. And I think
surrounding yourself with the right people in it.
The most important thing for me over the last kind of 12 months has been surrounding myself with that, because
there's been some challenges.
Yeah, there's been a lot of challenges, and I think from that, without going back into the story of my dad and stuff, at that time I'd thrown myself into everything, and probably tried to ignore parts of it, and it was like, no, I'm doing it for my dad, I'm doing it for my dad. And then I kind of got to a period, February 24, where I was in pretty bad shape, similar to what I was like in my second year of rugby. again, I don't mind talking about it. Similar, you know, Paul tells his story, very similar, which is why I ended up involved with that group. What I didn't know was, you know, panic attacks and I'm not sure on
anxiety,
the depression. Definitely anxiety, and really confusing time, and challenges at work with kind of taking it from a certain level to another level, and what needed to happen within that, with resources and staffing and all the rest of it.
And it's not that you're, because it's on you as well to make all these decisions. Am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decisions? And like, should I do that? And it's so hard. And being a business owner, when you're dealing with all the decision making and then trying to level up as well as going through challenges, it's tough.
It is, and I found myself in rooms and positions that I felt I didn't belong in, or at least surprised me to be in.
It's imposter syndrome, isn't
it? Big time, and I think probably, I don't know, and I've started working with a mentor since, with Craig, called Craig White, who's kind of helped me to get that mindset right. Obviously be the stand talking to Paul and stuff. I found myself in a position where I'd just come back from Paris with Goldman Sachs, and I'd found myself in a room, and I don't mean to sound big-headed or arrogant when I say this, and I'd found myself in a room of people with top people at like Google and Bloomberg and places like that, and people was coming asking me questions and complimenting what we do and stuff, and saying, can I do this with you, can I do... And then I remember having a picture taken with a guy from Bloomberg, and it was like, and I got a message the morning after saying like, why do you not take more pictures? And it was a bit of a funny one, like, why do you not take pictures? You photogenic, especially with me on the picture, blah, blah, blah. And it was a case of, why are you not sharing more about what you do? Because you're in the room, you're worthy of being in the room.
Of course you are.
And I think that probably comes as a surprise, because I kind of hit a wall after that. So I still don't know whether it was because of coming off the back end of grief, whether a part of grief is the depression side of it, and you know, I ended up going for ECGs and all sorts, thinking, shit, I don't know what's up with me. And everything was fine, everything was perfect, and like Paul tells a similar story, and it was just panic attack. You think you're dying. And it was like,
it's horrible because it's all in your chest and stuff, innit? Because you think you're having a heart attack.
Horrible. And you kind of go in work trying to, and people don't understand, and it was a tough time. And I think, I'm not knocking people because I don't think people realise, but I think in business, I don't know what you're like, I know you've got staff around, but it's very rare you get asked how you are. I think we ask how everybody else is.
You and Esby ask me all the time.
Yeah, because I know what it's like, and you do to us. And I think, and I'm not knocking anyone, and I'm not saying everybody, absolutely not, and I'm not saying people should understand.
Because you know what, it's like, obviously us as business owners, we've got to make sure our team are all right, but then it's like, who does check in on the
I mean, I can count on my hand, and as I say, probably not a popular thing to say, but like, it's not very often people ask. Like, I'm not knocking people. I think they probably just think, oh, he's up there and he's doing and he's out there, and they don't know that I'm coming in here and you're sweating, or they don't know that I'm panicking and texting you this morning. They just see
or
this.
They don't see the sleepless nights, and you just, because everything is like, you've just got to be tunnel vision and focused, and it's like, you've got to be upbeat and stuff as a business owner, and there is days where it gets really tough. I had a tough day when we were on phone over a week. I'm like,
and you need it, don't you? You know, and like I said, with Be the Standard or whatever, like groups like that, everybody's going through similar.
That's why that group is really good, actually, because I love the surgeries, the business surgeries, and it's like you go in there and like you listen, because you think that, in it mad as a business owner, you think you're the only one going through that scenario, and it's not. Like, you sit in them rooms and people are dealing with the same things, and it's so good to speak to other people.
It is, and that's been really, really good for me, because when I said about the whole Paris thing and stuff, I think part of it was I didn't understand how I needed to be in them rooms. Like, people now, I laugh with my mates and stuff, they say, oh, where have you been this week, and which celebrity have you been with this week, and I think at that, I feel more comfortable with it now. Although I still feel like I should be in that room sometimes. Who am I
get
to
like
be there?
that. Or who cares about my opinion? I think everyone's like that though. Deep down, unless they're them really egoistic people, like
there's not many about though. Who's at the top though, are there?
No, it's not Be the Standard or anyone like that. Everyone is dead the same.
The speakers, the people involved. I've not come across anybody like that. And as I said, at the back end of when I went through that. I don't know whether it was the grief, what it was, but then, I started to find myself in them rooms, and it was like a bit surreal, really, because it was like, oh, this has changed. And then from a business point of view, we started picking up bigger contracts, better contracts, and then obviously the figures looked insane to where they were, and it was like, oh. And I've always been like, it's not about the money, it's about the impact.
Yes.
But then I realised, you know, similar to what like Paul does and others, like the maximum impact I can have is if we make more and we grow more, I can have more impact. So the community stuff we do, I can do on a bigger scale and
you
set
do
up
a
a
lot
foundation after my dad and all, which is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I found myself in more and more of them rooms, but I come out from feeling inspired and all the rest of it. But it's been probably an 18-month period of having to work on myself and get to know myself better.
But you just remember, like, from a young age, you have been go, Dave, and it's not that you've faced a lot of challenges, but you've cracked on every single day. It's like, there was going to be a time where you think, shit, who am I, and where do I want to go, where do I want to take this?
And you think a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, but look at you now, like,
do
you know, like I say to you all the time, are you not proud of everything that you've done? And you're like, you're so humble, and you're like, no, I'm just doing like, I'm just creating something. And you are like,
the process, isn't it? You've got to enjoy the process, you know.
And it's hard at times.
You know, I did my first marathon, I did it, and then it was like, I'll do it, and then I think I got home and I'd signed up for the next one straight away because it was like,
you and your little
I
family,
really love that process.
You've just done one together.
Yeah, and we've done all sorts since. And on that, you're looking for the next edge, aren't you, all the time. And I feel more comfortable in them rooms, but I still think I've got to work on it. And I've got to, a journal and stuff. I've got to write who I am and what I want to be and what makes me happy and,
And what would you say is the best business advice you've ever been given, just for anyone that's listening? Or what advice could you give to?
I think a big one for me is there's two that I'd say at this moment in time. I think things change as you go. One is one I picked up from Sean Wayne, who's the England league coach now, and it's a term called anything you do is everything you do. And I believe that from how you get up in the morning, you make the bed, and I talked about the kids before, they do that, and it's important, especially my eldest. And
I have a ritual.
Yeah, and presenting yourself in that way, I don't treat, if I go on holiday, like it's a thing, and people kind of look at you as though you're a bit weird sometimes. If we go on holiday, went to Portugal not long back, and put the seats in. I know it sounds, put the chairs in, gather your plates, put your chairs in, walk away and go and say thank you to the chef and come out. And you can see they look at you as though like, nobody ever says that to me. But I think if you get into the habit of doing them things, you'll do it to everything. And it, I think that's, and I say everything, the way you present yourself and how you are outside and when you go into the rugby club at weekend or whatever, just try to be the same all the time. And
authentically.
And be authentic, whatever that looks like. And I think, and not everybody's going to like that.
No.
Absolutely not everybody's going to like that. And I've had to learn that the hard way, because in the next quote I'm going to say, it was a bit of a trade-off with that. It's a Kev Sinfield one, but one I've learned as well over the years is make the right decision, not the popular one.
Yes,
I've made far too many popular decisions over the years. And
I'm playing it safe.
Especially over the last few years.
Yeah.
And you can't please everyone.
Can you act?
I'm working on myself at the minute.
Yeah,
and,
I used to be a bit of a people pleaser, and I'd be like, I just want to keep them happy and stuff like that. And that could be anyone, friends, anything, work. And it's like, no, you've got to say, you've got to.
Doing the best by them, and I've learned that actually, you're probably setting stall it wrong or whatever. If you kind of, like anything, whether it's parenting, like I said, them two quotes, Murray, was like, it's like with parenting, you've got to do the right thing, not the popular. If you go and make the popular decision all the time, the kids are going to be doing what they want with no discipline or whatever. And it's in business, but I'm doing a bit of a course at the minute with the mentor I'm working with, Craig. It's about people pleasing, and I've learned a lot over the last few weeks alone of actual things, people pleasing. I'm not actually pleasing them.
No, you're not. You're not doing them any favours.
Not doing them any favours. So I've got to be more like with the business. People have got to, and I don't mind saying this, on here. people have got to be accountable
Yeah.
to help them develop and grow and move forward.
How can anyone grow if you're not going to be honest with them either?
Yeah,
and it's like, you've got to be, I believe in like being transparent, and one thing I am known for is being straight to the point. Like I don't beat around the bush, and I feel like sometimes it can come out wrong.
Yeah, it does.
I don't mean to be, but I just don't like beating around the bush. No. I just think I'm just going to get straight to the point here. Yeah. And it's like, that does them favours, but also it does me favours, because if I don't say the truth, it'll play on my head for too long.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
And that's what I've learned over the last 12 months and done work on myself and runs with it. That's emotionally draining. Yeah. You know, if you're doing that,
because you worry and worry.
It's packed away somewhere in your head.
Yeah.
And then you wake up and you're doing, I do all kinds of stuff, journaling and your breath work, whatever. I can be doing something, trying to focus and plan, and then them little things come back.
Yeah, because you think, I should have done this, and I should have said that. You
can't do it.
No.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
But yeah, them are the things I'm working on at the moment.
And so what's going to be next for Dave and DMR?
Massive growth curve. We're recruiting at the minute. Yeah. We're taking on some key members of staff with a lot of experience and a lot of skin in the game, if that's the right term. It's different, I guess. It's like going from a certain level to another level, and you're bringing in another. I've not had to bring in, say, I don't know, senior managers. They might have grown from within or whatever, and they're still with us and such. And it's different now. You're bringing in different roles that I've not had to recruit for, because it was me running everything. So I might have brought in certain roles, but now I've had to recruit an head of standards and curriculum and a contracts manager and a head of business development.
This is exciting, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And we just got to take the opportunities. We've got more in contracts now than we've ever had. Wow. So we've more visibility about where we can go. Yeah. We've got the investment capacity to inject into that and run that. We've got, through yourselves, we've got the credibility. And it'd be sad if we didn't take them opportunities now on a personal and professional level. DMR
will go global.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've dipped our toe in, haven't we?
Yeah. It's already there.
Across Europe and Saudi Arabia.
So watch the space, everyone.
Yeah. I think we've got to focus on what's, rather than dilute everything and spread ourselves too thin. I think we've got to capitalise on what we've got in the UK first. We've got contracts, Greater Manchester, Greater London. We've got a government contract that's all across England. So, yeah, we're getting that right. I'm getting some key people in, and I'm enjoying it.
Good. That's what matters, because we've got to enjoy it, haven't we, Dave? Because, we both know we've been through patches where we weren't enjoying it.
No.
And it's like, you just think, what is the point? Why am I doing this? And it's like, we've had conversations about where it affects our home, with the kids, and it's nice to hear that you're enjoying it. Saying that, as soon as you come in, you and Esby as well, totally different people.
Yeah,
you don't look drained, you don't look stressed.
Like I said, and that's why I refer to that period I went through when we were younger. It was a similar period, if not worse, from February 2024. It was tough, and I didn't see a way out, actually, because it was a bit different to before, and I thought, I don't know how to deal with this, and I've had to really dig deep and navigate with it. But I've come through the other side. Yeah. It was just about change and imposter syndrome and making the right decisions and you're in the right
environments as well now. You're surrounded by the right people, Dave. I think that it's like we've just said, but that has a huge impact. You've got to think of like the environment that you were in before to now.
Yeah, I'm big on, if I get a text or something, it's something negative, I'm like, I don't want that negativity.
Yeah, no. Don't disturb my peace.
No. And as I said before, after I lost my dad and stuff, I was quickly into a thing of, you know what, it's 80 odd, I've had a good time, I've got a good grounding, but we'll go. As much as I get emotional about it, I have never once said, I wish I'd have had longer. And I will not say that, because you can't wish things like that, because
you're dwelling on something that's not going to happen, and it's not going to do your mental state any favours.
No, and I'm just not like that. And same with the kids, and the kids have got it in them. Like Jack said to me, like, he's still with us.
You guys,
that's
as a family, are just brilliant. Like, I see all your snaps and I'm like, wow. You always go, but you're the more happiest couple. Like, well, you and Esby are, you're like brilliant. But the family as a unit, honestly, you just look so happy.
Yeah, listen, we have our moments, don't we? You know, like social media is great for that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you put stuff out and you always look. But then I guess people, or the reason we're doing this is because people don't see that, you know,
everything
that
else.
period, that happened, that period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am happy, but the work that's gone in and still goes in, and I can still go off that, you know, you can still go like that.
Of course.
You're always
it's an emotional roller coaster.
on the edge, and I think that's just life. Like I said, that period for a good few months, at least I had the tools. I've gone through it in the past, and now I went through it again. I don't think you're ever through that work on yourself.
No, but that's a continuous journey. It's like, you've got to think of it as, you can't just ever stop, because the minute that you stop is the minute that you're not progressing. And it's no self-development. Like, self-development is a continuous journey throughout life.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've got to work on that every single day. It's like your mental state. I read every day and stuff like that. And it's all about, you've got to keep progressing and like learning new habits and just making sure that you're working on yourself, because it never stops that. It's a continuous thing.
Yeah, when I'd obviously brought the news to my kids and everything that kind of came with that, and where we wanted to go as a family. There was another kind of angle to it, which was similar to when we first started the business. Prior to that, probably 12 months before, Edward was pregnant again, and we had another miscarriage, which was another kind of learning curve for the family this time, because we're obviously 4 children in at the time, and then it happened again. And we kind of said, like, we don't know, not type of thing, and then it just so happened that, you know, a big believer, everything happens for a reason, and we just said it would be type of thing, and we got over it pretty quickly, because, you know, again, I think you go through something once, it gets a little bit easier the second time, and third and fourth and such. So yeah, but then again, she found herself pregnant again the year after, which was the December time, November-December time, before, you know, we lost my dad in February. But I wasn't aware of it, we hadn't told anybody. It was expected with Mary, who's our youngest, who's 2 now. So when my dad went into hospital, it was a case of like, you know, you don't tell anybody for 12 weeks, and for the scans and all that. So the day, I think it was the day before the last time I had a proper conversation with Dad, we decided to tell him, and my mum told him. I think he said something like, "Well, yeah, not another one," or something like that. But obviously,
got a tribe.
Yeah, it was tough, because once, you know, a couple of days after I knew what was going to happen, you know that you're not going to see that child, you know, brought into the world. And after that, I had to go back to the hospital when we went in with Mary. It was the first time I'd been back, so I'd been to the hospital and seen Dad passed, and then I had to go back to the same hospital. It was only just further, I walked past the ward, and it was just a kind of roller coaster of emotions, I guess, like when we first started the business. And obviously everything shapes you, but it was a testing time to go and do that and see her. And then I walked out of the hospital, obviously with a new child. The last time I walked out of the hospital was losing my dad. And like I say, about positive people, you know, my Auntie Dorothy and my mum were there that night, and I was keen to mention those people because I draw a lot of strength from them as well.
Yeah.
Two small women in height, but mountains of people, you know, in heart and strength and resilience. And my mum's like me, she's just cracked on. Since when we were talking about my dad, my mum's just kept herself busy. And my mum's attitude is, you know, when your time comes, I'm going for it while I'm here. And that's that, and I have the same approach. You know, my Auntie Dorothy's the same. I mean, they're a family that's gone through a lot over the years with, you know, a lot of things, which is not for this podcast, you know, with losses and problems of, you know, a lot of loss gone on over the years, and some real tough times, which I think's obviously shaped them. Which ultimately shaped me. You know, I'm quite close to my Auntie Dorothy, who's in her 80s, and my mum, and they're close.
I remember we had 3 of us sat in the front row, and I was mentioning that we had what they meant to my dad. I kind of went through everyone. They're just mountains of people. And you've got people like that behind you.
Yeah.
I can't admit to anything, well, let me look back or give up or anything. It was the same. And you draw strength from stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've gone through a hell of a lot over the years. One thing or another, it's enough for today, but real strong, tough people.
We're going to take over the UK with the industry.
Yes.
That's the goal.
I'm going to ring you when we have. Told you that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you when we have.
Listen, I'm going to be there on the sidelines. You can't get rid of me now. Anyway, but ending this podcast, what advice could you give to anyone in business, like starting out or in the thick of it or going through the emotions, like?
Just don't look back, just go for it and don't have any regrets. If you want to do something, you've got to go and at least try and do it.
Yeah.
And make sure you put everything into it. And then if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you're not going to have any regrets and think, I didn't have a go.
Yeah. I watched a podcast actually, and it was all about like giving something a go, like you said. And it's like, if that thing doesn't work out, then that wasn't the path for you. And just see it as that and just move on. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've done. I do believe everything happens for a reason. And I you know how strong my faith is to me, and I believe, things are what they're meant to be.
Yeah.
Which I've never made any secret of either. And like I say, I mean, the important thing for me now is being in these rooms with people who's done it, tried it, failed, succeeded, failed a million times, maybe not a million times, but umpteen times over, and learn from adversity. I feel more comfortable in the rooms now. Yeah. Like I was saying before, I think the beginning of my kind of almost downfall a couple of years back is like, whoa, I'm in these rooms and I'm with these people, and it's quite surreal, and it plays with your head. It plays with your head, and you think, oh, I've got to kind of find a way of thinking, what do I belong? I've been on that retreat, and there's people in there who are a lot kind of bigger hitters than me, and I'm just a kid from Lee that's found myself in these rooms, and I feel more comfortable in there now. I won't say I feel comfortable in that group, but from what I've seen, and like I say, I've laughed with my mates and sort of, where are you going this week, and who are you in company with this week, and this, that, and the other.
It's good though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like you are a product of your environment, I believe, and it's like, there's that saying, isn't there? You are the 5 people that you surround yourself with.
And it's
so
true.
Yeah.
Even when we talk and stuff, and we do, don't we? I pick phone up, send a voice note, and have a rant or whatever.
We did, don't we? Rant, cry, laugh.
Yeah.
Or motivate each other.
All that. But I soon know when I'm back in the environments that don't.
That drain you.
That drain me. That don't. I was going to say don't serve you. I think that's a bit unfair, but drain you. Yeah, and I don't think everybody realises that. We all have people around that just focus on the negative. I mean, you look at the news. I don't watch it anymore.
Negative Normans, right? Because it's like everything is just. I can't stand negativity. I try to find the good now in most things. Like, I know, like, there's some sides you obviously kind, but it's like, I do try to have that outlook on life, but I do believe that's another part of inner work.
It is. And it is.
Because I had to do that, when I was younger, a lot of inner work, because I lived in a negative mindset, and I were a negative Norman.
Yeah. I like negative Nelly, mate.
All right, well, there's a Norman and Nelly. Well, if we ever get like that, that's what we'll call each other.
No, it's massively true, and I think if anybody didn't learn that from the whole COVID period, I think you're never going to learn it.
Listen, life is too short to be anything but happy.
Yeah, because we've talked about it all today, because there's a point where you're not going to be here. So what's the point of being negative?
You've got to enjoy it. Trust the process, enjoy the journey.
Yeah, absolutely that.
So 2026 is going to be the one for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Convincing now, isn't it? It's
100%. I genuinely think it's going to be
it's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah.
That's me holding myself accountable, and the fact that I'll
you're
say it on here.
now. Listen, everyone holding you accountable.
Yeah. No.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for coming on.
No, thanks for your time. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thanks for making me cry.
It's been good. Likewise.
Thank you.